Welcome back to the channel, friends. I am Shawn. This is Living Peace Yoga. I'm so glad you've decided to join me this evening. If you are new to the channel, I'm so glad you decided to join us as well. I'm hoping that you find some peace on the mat this evening. We have a wonderful practice scheduled for you. And so without further ado, roll out your mat, get into something comfy. We're going to start in simple seated. You will also need a bolster for this evening for our Savasana, of course. And whatever bolster looks like for you is fine. A blanket, a pillow, just grab what's handy. And then we will jump in and do some yoga. Friends, have you ever heard the comment, water isn't concrete? We're going to talk about that tonight in our practice. So before we do though, I would like to ask you, please subscribe down below and then also hit the thumbs up because of course, the more content you like, the more content I can bring your way. So we're going to start in simple seated, as I said. So rock back onto those sits bones. We're going to tuck those shoulders down and back. We're going to bring our hands together at heart center, closing the eyes, and of course, coming to that place of stillness. Most importantly, coming to the breath. Water isn't concrete. Peter said, "Lord, if it is really you, then command me to come to you on the water." Jesus said, "Come." And Peter left the boat and walked on the water to Jesus. That's Matthew 14:28 through 29. This is a message about water and why it isn't concrete, obviously, because Peter was able to walk to Jesus on the water. But it was because of his faith and because of his trust in Christ that he was able to do that. Friend, I don't know if I could get out of the boat and walk on water, even if it was Jesus who called me to walk on the water. I think that shows what we as humans, what little faith we have sometimes. And it is just that because we are human. But we're going to talk a little further about faith and our reliance on Christ throughout our practice tonight. So again, coming to the breath. Feeling the expansion of the lungs as you inhale the air, and then as you exhale, feeling the deflation of that balloon. Good. We're going to take a deep breath in, both arms up to the top, meeting our hands at the center, coming back on down, hands at heart center. One more time, big deep breath in, arms up overhead, hands together at the top, back down through heart center. One more time, big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Good, this time we're going to take the right hand and we're going to grab the left wrist with the forefinger and the thumb, and we're going to lean to the right side of the mat. Feeling that left side body stretch. Good, and then release there. We're going to do it on the other side. So with the forefinger and the thumb of the left hand, grab the right wrist, pull it to the left side of the body. Awesome. These stretches feel so good as we warm up the body, starting to feel that heat move throughout that left side. Good. Come back up to center. Place those hands together and come on down through heart center. Good. We're going to place the chin to the chest. And we're going to tip back, tipping the nose up to the center. Good. And then chin to the chest. Warming up the upper cervical spine. Good. And tilting that chin back. And then tilting the chin to the chest. Bring those hands down to the knees. And just with some light movement, we're going to rock the neck back and forth from left side to right side. So not leaving it there for any particular time except what you feel that you want to or feel that you need. But just rocking that neck from side to side. Good. And then back to center. Awesome. We're going to roll on to all fours, remembering our posturing. So wrist under elbow, elbow under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to drop into some cat-cow. So drop the hips down, or the belly down, lifting up the hips, tilting the head up towards the heavens as you inhale. As you exhale, round the spine out, pressing those shoulders up towards the heavens, tilting that tailbone under, and then rocking through that sequence at your own breath pace. Good. And then when you have completed your next cat, we're going to come back to neutral position. We're going to extend the left foot back behind us onto the mat. Toes pointed towards the mat, or actually right to the mat. We're going to take our right hand and we're going to place it out in front, up on the right fingertips. Good. And then we're going to come back to center. We're going to extend that left foot back. Toes on the mat. Pressing that heel towards the wall behind you. We're going to extend that left arm out. Reaching up to the top of the mat, but just the fingertips touching the mat. Feeling that right quad stretch. Pulling and knitting in those ribs and abdomen, aka suck it in. Good. And then come back to center. This time we're going to extend the left foot back, leaving it on the mat. We're going to place the right hand up just on the fingertips, but then move it to the left side of the mat. So just a little twist here. You can probably feel that stretch now in the low back. Good. And then back to center. Extend that right foot back. Place the left hand up in front, but then move it on over to the right side of the mat. Good. Then come back to neutral. Curl those toes. We'll meet in our first downward facing dog. So go ahead and pedal out those feet, as this is our first hamstring stretch. Press those hips back towards the wall behind you. Look to the top of the mat. Walk, hop, skip, jump, whatever you'd like to do to get to the top of the mat. And we're going to forward fold it out. Good. And then we're going to slowly work up to the top. One vertebrae at a time, and then we're going to bring those hands up to the top as we inhale. Exhale, forward fold it out. Inhale, we're going to halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to forward fold it out, hands to the mat. We're going to extend those feet back in a plank pose. Coming down into a chaturanga and up dog. Awesome. And back to downward facing dog. You guys are doing great. Go ahead and look to the top of the mat. One more time. Walk it up to the top. Forward fold it out. Good. Very slowly. We're going to uncurl the vertebrae one at a time until we get to the top of the mat. Big deep breath in, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold it out. Inhale, we're going to halfway lift, elongating the spine. Exhale, forward fold it out. Taking those feet back to plank, coming through that chaturanga and up dog. And then back to downward facing dog. Good, come up onto those tippy toes. We're gonna walk just to the center of the mat, placing both feet in the center of the mat, forward folding it out. Good. From here, we're gonna slowly come up. I'm gonna face the camera, but you can stay facing forward on your mat. We're gonna take a big deep breath in, arms up overhead. As we exhale, sit in your chair pose. Good, arms up overhead, hands reaching to the heavens, knees together, big toes together. We're gonna come up onto those tootsies, for lack of a better word, up onto our toes for a diver's pose. So just like we're gonna dive right off of this diving board, sit deeper into the pose. Good, relax those heels down, and then we're gonna exhale, forward fold it out. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold it out. We're gonna reach our feet back to plank. Good. We're gonna come into tree pose in plank. So we're gonna take the right foot, we're gonna place it on the inside of the left thigh. Yep, you can do it. It's called balance. Pulling in those ribs, pulling in the low abdomen. Good, release that foot back to plank. Still in your plank pose, we're now going to take the left foot and place it to the right thigh. Awesome sauce. Foot back to plank. Knees to the mat. Bum to the heels for a beloved child's pose. So Peter had to have faith, which means this: reliance, loyalty, or complete trust in God. It's a system of religious beliefs. So that is the actual definition of faith. So the valley of decision can be long and difficult, friend. So when we finally take that step of saying yes to whatever it is God is calling you to do, or whatever it is He's calling you in your life, we can expect everything to come together instantly on the other side. Which means we have come back to faith, right? Which is reliance, loyalty, complete trust in God, a system of religious beliefs. Good. Bring those knees back together. Come on back up to all fours. Curl those toes. Press back into downward facing dog. We're going to extend that left leg back. We're going to bring it on through for a runner's lunge. Good. We're going to let that right leg or right hip fall closer to the mat, but we're going to keep that right leg straight so that we're not falling into the mat like this. You want your leg up nice and straight. Don't let the left knee come forward of the left ankle so that that's supportive of the knee. Good. We're going to place both hands in front. We're going to turn both toes to the long edge of the mat. We're going to forward fold it out in an open forward fold A. Good. And then we're going to curl the right toes to the back of the mat. We're going to curl into a runner's lunge to the right side, keeping that left leg nice and straight. You can let it fall a little towards the mat, if you will. Really heating up those hips. Good. And then we're going to come back up to center, both toes to the long edge of the mat, forward folding it out. Good. And then we're going to turn back to the front of the mat. We're going to take our left foot out, place it next to the right, back into downward facing dog. Good. Extend that right leg back. We're going to bring it on through. Lay that right shin behind the hands. We're going to extend that left leg back. Coming down onto our hands or onto a block, onto a bolster if you would like, or you can just stay up on your hands. So, is water like concrete? No. But if we keep our eyes focused on His, we can walk across even the most tempestuous waters as if they were simply solid ground. So when the chaos of life is swirling around, finances are piling up, the job is too long and too rough, the kids are exhausting, the spouse is exhausting, we know that we have somebody who carries those burdens with us and for us, as long as we keep our eyes focused on His. Good. We're going to place our hands to the mat. We're going to inchworm our leg forward, the left leg forward, extending that right leg out into a three-legged dog. Good. We're going to tilt that right leg to the left side of the mat, opening up that right hip. Good. Placing it back to meet the left. Press those hips back. We're going to extend the left leg back, bringing it on through, placing the left shin behind the hands, placing the right knee on the mat, working it back, coming down into your expression of pigeon. The side is extremely tight tonight. I'm not sure why. I have been doing some work around my house though, so I have a feeling that that might be why. I'm getting that spring cleaning itch always this time of year when you begin to go stir crazy. I've mentioned before, I live in Michigan. We are knee deep in snow, and so I get that itch to start cleaning out the house. Good. This does not have to be a stationary pose. So feel free to rock back and forth. You will find that in most of my practices, I incorporate pigeon. It is just such a great pose. It helps with the low back. It helps with that piriformis muscle with sciatic nerve pain if you have that. But then also, to me, it's just very worshipful. So I like to be in pigeon most of my practices. Good. You can come up onto those hands. Rotate that leg forward. We're going to bring that left leg up and out the same way we came in. Tilt that left foot open to the right side of the mat. Good. And bring that foot back to meet the right in downward facing dog. Press those hips back. Good. We're going to rotate forward into a plank, but we're going to come all the way down, letting those knees onto the mat, uncurling the toes into a high cobra. And then we're going to come down into a little cobra, a baby cobra. Good. Pressing back up into a high cobra. So getting some bicep workout tonight. Good. Back down to mini cobra or little cobra or baby cobra. And we're going to press back up into big cobra. Good. And then press those hips back into a child's pose. Good. Come back up to center. We're going to sit on our bums. We're going to rotate those legs around in front. Toes pointed towards the heavens. Sitting very straight, elongating that spine. Taking a nice inhale. And exhale. Just a nice soft forward fold over both legs. Trying to get a little more of those hamstring stretches in. Good. Take a nice inhale. And fall deeper into that fold. Good. And then come back up to center. We're going to rotate onto our bums. We're going to roll onto our backs, and we're going to pull those knees into the chest. We're going to do a little bit of mat work here tonight. So I had planned some poses that we could do while lying on our backs on the mat, which will be nice and relaxing, right? So go ahead and place those bums to the heel or to the mat. Bend the knees so that your feet are flat to the mat. We're going to place our hands flat to the mat as well. We're going to lift our hips up towards the heavens into a bridge pose. Good. If you'd like to take it a step further, extend the right leg up. Good. And bring that right foot back to the mat, leaving our bums up in the bridge pose. And then we're going to extend the left leg up. Good. Foot to the mat and then bum back down. We're going to take about 3 resting breaths here, and then we're going to do that sequence again. So 3 big deep breaths. Good. And go ahead and lift the bum up off of the mat, pressing those hips towards the heavens. We're going to lift that right leg up, keeping those hips even. Good. And then place that right foot to the mat, keeping those hips still in alignment towards the heavens. We're going to lift that left leg up. Working on some core here. Good. Place that left foot back and then our bum down. We're going to lift our right leg up. Place the right foot as if it were flat against the sky. Good. We're going to take both hands. We're going to slide it down that right leg as if we are forward folding over that right leg, except we're lying down instead of sitting. Good. Come back down to center. Release that right leg. Place that left leg or left foot up towards the sky, flat against the sky. And again, we're going to take in a nice inhale. And as we exhale, forward fold over that left leg as if we're forward folding sitting, but we're lying instead. Good. And then let that go and come back to the mat. Press the right foot or left foot back to the mat. We're going to extend the right leg out long. We're going to pull that left leg into the body. Good. We're going to extend that left arm out to the left. We're going to pull the right knee over, left knee, over to the right side of the mat. Feeling that stretch along the whole spine as we're in a couple of different twists along the spine. It's so yummy. Good. And we're going to bring that left foot back to the mat. Bring up the right foot. Extend that left leg out long. We're going to bring the right leg into the body. Good. Extend the right arm out to the side. We're going to take that left hand. Good. Bring that right leg back to center. Bring that left leg in. Bring both legs in. Good. I want you to cross the ankles. Let those knees fall to the side. Grab the ankles with your hands. This is a nice neutral position. Good. And then let that go and place both feet to the mat. We're going to do something a little different for Savasana tonight as we move our way towards Savasana. This is a very yummy Savasana that I've actually, I don't do very often, but I thought it would be something very nice, neutral, and relaxing that we could try this evening. So go ahead and sit up and grab your bolster of whatever that looks like, whether it's a blanket, a pillow, or an actual bolster. You'll want to have that on hand. We're going to place it between our knees. We're going to take our hips to the left side of the body. We're going to turn on to our right side. We're going to use our right bicep as a pillow, placing the left hand on the mat, pillow between our legs. And once again, we're going to come to that place of stillness. We're going to close our eyes, softening the muscles of the face, soften the shoulders, close the eyes. Let the tongue come off the roof of your mouth. Really let your weight fall into the earth. Becoming heavy to the earth. Becoming one with the earth. Friend, I want to say it one more time. Faith is reliance, loyalty, or complete trust in God. I hope that you found peace on the mat and that you take that peace with you as you go throughout the rest of your day. I also pray that you found a little more faith that you can take with you as well. Thank you for practicing with me tonight, friends. It was more of a blessing than you will ever know. And I can't wait to meet you again on the mat next time.